MCU fans got their first real look at Thor Love and Thunder as the teaser sets up a brand new adventure for the God of Thunder and, well, the other God of Thunder. Somebody's killing off the ancient gods, and it looks like Thor and Korg are going to get to the bottom of it, whether they like it or not. But the big star? It's Natalie Portman returning as Jane Foster, wielding a very cracked Mjolnir. Look, that's not Girl Thor, that's just Thor. There's a whole story behind her, and we're about to get into it as we break this whole thing down, so let's go! We open on a shot of Thor running, first as a kid, then as a teen sporting his classic winged helm and, well, his whole original comics look, and then again as a grown space god clad in his iconic MCU gear.
These hands were once used for battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace.
That, of course, is Stormbreaker, the Thanos-killing weapon Thor forged during Avengers Infinity War. Looks like Thor no longer needs it now that Thanos has been killed. Twice. And here's where we find Thor to start this movie, trying to find himself at the edge of the universe.
I need to figure out exactly who I am.
We got the Marvel logo animating on as Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses plays in the background. Why did they choose this song? Is Thor gonna have a kid in this movie? Here's Thor doing a little bit of work on himself, shedding those extra pounds he gained playing PlayStation with Korg in New Asgard. Quick look at that hat he's wearing. Strongest Avenger calls back to Thor Ragnarok, but that is the original Avengers logo first used in the Avengers #1 back in 1963. Also, the dead giant Thor is working out next to kind of sets up a main plot point. Dead gods. We'll come back to this concept in a second, but for now, let's keep moving. Check out Thor's new look. Got a very 80s metal sleeveless thing going on. Aw, you guys, Thor is reinventing himself. He really is still worthy. Whatever, because here's our first look at Star-Lord and Mantis. Thor is, of course, still riding around with everybody's favorite bunch of a-holes, the Guardians of the Galaxy, after he took off with them in Avengers Endgame. But he's not the captain, because Star-Lord's the captain. Of course.
Of course.
And by the look on Star-Lord's face right here, we can tell that this is going great. Thor goes for the dramatic unveiling of his new God of Thunder gear. Real quick, those blue-skinned aliens behind him, you might think of the Kree, but our best guess, these are Yondu's people, the Centaurians. Maybe Star-Lord went to visit them to tell of the fate of their brave and badass Mary Poppins. But whoever they are, they seem to be looking to Thor and the Guardians for help, seeing that their whole village is on fire. Also in this shot, we have Groot, who seems to have Grooted back to full Groot, and you know what? Groot for him. Also, is that Drax over there? I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. That guy can be hard to spot sometimes.
Dude, how long have you been standing there?
The Guardians jump into action as Thor just stands there with Stormbreaker. Based on his outfit and the weapon, we're guessing this comes from a different point in the movie when he decides to give up that superhero life to pursue peace, seeking his purpose in the universe. There goes the Benatar and the Guardians. Looks like Thor's on his own while they head off to go do a-hole stuff somewhere out in the galaxy. We'll catch back up with them in 2023 when Guardians 3 comes out. Next, we see him palling around with Korg and this empty spot in the frame looking like a character that should be standing there but was removed for the trailer. Marvel has done a ton of this kind of stuff in the past, so who could it be? Could Thor reunite with Professor Hulk? Is this Beta Ray Bill, perhaps? Next, we get a shot of what looks like a built-out new Asgard on Earth as a flying Viking ship streaks past, pulled by Thor's two trusty magic goats from the comics, Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder. And we think this is Olympus, and in Marvel Comics, Olympus is a god realm that's kind of a pocket dimension rather than an alien world somewhere in the universe. But hold up real quick, because now we got Pirate Thor. That ship has laser rifles attached to it, and that looks like a dead Kraken in the background. Probably one of Thor's many adventures as he's trying to find his place in the universe, but maybe it's a dream sequence for Drax, whom we already know kind of thinks of Thor in this way.
It's like a pirate had a baby with an angel.
Wow. And who is this blue-haired lady swooping in just in time to kiss a space god? No, seriously, who is that? Your guess is as good as mine. This planet looks dark and desolate. Maybe it's the homeworld of Gorr the God Butcher, the new villain played by Christian Bale, who does not show up in this teaser at all. Another new look for Thor here, all shiny and gold as he uses Stormbreaker to Bifrost himself to Olympus is our best guess, and that's where we think these next few shots take place. That guy with the lightning bolt, we think that is Zeus, who rules over Olympus, played by Russel Crowe. We got Thor broing out to the max here with his boy Korg. Real glad we're getting more Korg in this movie. Seems like he's a steadying presence for Thor.
Piss off, Ghost!
Or not. I don't know. Moving on. This next shot is super interesting because it's lifted straight from the pages of Marvel Comics. Thor and Korg look at a giant dead monster, except that's no monster, that's an ancient space god, Thalagar the Behemoth. In Jason Aaron and Asad Ribic's Thor the God of Thunder, Thalagar is murdered by Gorr the God Butcher, who again we do not see in this trailer at all, but here we see what he's capable of. Here's another look at New Asgard, which looks like a vacation destination, and a suited-up Valkyrie is running the show after Thor named her king in Avengers Endgame. Also, there is Korg's friend Meek, looking fresh to death in a nice suit. Still has knives for hands, though. Here's another shot of Olympus with a Zeus statue back there. I wonder what a guy named the God Butcher is going to do when he meets Zeus, Greek god of the sky. Thor and Korg are joined here by two characters we can't identify, one in a red cape and one in blue. Could one of them be the mystery CGI character? Is the one in the red cape Beta Ray Bill, perhaps? And here's the big moment we mentioned earlier. Jane Foster summoning a cracked Mjolnir in her first appearance as Thor, God of Thunder. Not Girl Thor, not Lady Thor, Thor. This too comes from Marvel Comics back in 2014 when Jane Foster was deemed worthy to wield Mjolnir after Thor loses his ability to do so. The MCU Mjolnir was destroyed by Thor's long-lost sister Hela in Thor Ragnarok, and we're guessing that this is that same weapon, reforged. How did it get that way? Here's a theory. The comics Mjolnir is home to a god of storms, so perhaps the hammer rebuilt itself and then sought out a new hero worthy enough to wield it, Green Lantern style. Look, that's the best theory we've got, so make sure you hit us with yours down in the comments. What's clear now is Jane Foster has taken up Odin's son's heroing duties on Earth using the enchanted hammer as the new Thor, God of Thunder. Of course, in the real world, we've known Jane Foster would wield Mjolnir ever since San Diego Comic-Con 2019, when MCU mastermind Kevin Feige brought out Natalie Portman on stage to announce it. But what do you think of Jane Foster as Thor, and who's that mystery CGI character? Drop some Norse runes down in the comments about it, and we'll do our best to decipher them. But anyway, thanks for watching, and for more God of Thunder, here's a full in-depth breakdown on Jane Foster's Mighty Thor, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.
Just look into the eyes of the people that you love. Not me.
What? Just listening.